one team or another. It's whoever's willing to get the most aggressive. I mean, look at it. It certainly is aggressive on both sides. There are two. So we're actually able to make their way into sight and get that spike down pretty comfortably. Well, I say comfortably, look at the casualties actually. So Deryeon willing to take that gunfight. A free K for the round thus far. Amaterasu falling down. Can Deadly do something about this? They're going to go for the cheeky defuse, so the utility comes out, and there we go. JayH.
Swift collapse just mainly because of VLT not having good amount of weaponry, especially when you have sheriffs and Bleed exactly knowing what kind of weapons that they have. They decide to just go full on aggro all the way towards B. And now in this post plan, it'll be much more tougher for VLT to secure this, but maybe more so with those two sheriff kills being made from Amaterasu and Deadly. One more as we see Amaterasu get one kill towards crazyguy. Time is running out. They have to push in. It's a 2v2. They have their weaponry. All they gotta do is just find information, but JL will deny one, and it's all down to hellffR, in which he goes down to. So they've got to come back. They've got to provide a lot of support, and this double usage of those ultimates, especially the null command, is going to put VLT on an even much more difficult situation. It's all down to right to Ace. He needs to find the opportunity, in which he does not. Gets denied from JayH. Now with only just two players remain, beautiful wall bang from hellffR. So I'll remove Juicy. But they still got control, and he still got to worry about the flank. Retla, he's going to miss a lot of shots. Opportunity still remains, and he still gets it. Having lockdowns and nightfalls, everything is present. All it requires is just beautiful timing, and that time would be more than enough. And here comes smoke, and here comes it in left, just patiently waiting for the right opportunity to remove one of that.
To approach that prey. Again, the pressure being applied here, but what can you do? You have to try and go for these fights. There's one at least. Can they get another? No.
They give much more opportunity to succeed, especially with the Nightfall still being available. But Deryeon somehow, he gets to remove two of the players, Deryeon and Juicy. That is an incredible thing coming in from Bleeds' end, as they are shutting down every single aggressive attempts. Nightfall was still being used. Right away still has the lockdown. He could have used it if they make an attempt once again towards the A side, but Bleed, they know exactly what they're trying to do, and Amaterasu just needs a little bit of patience, but no, Retla, we got away with another kill, and so does JayH.
And maybe they just hold a bit more defensively, which is indeed what they seem to be doing. Pressure being applied a little bit, but Deadly is there to retaliate a little bit. Retla falling down, Juicy falling down too. hellffR once again showing up for his side, and Amaterasu taking down JayH. Deryeon and crazyguy, though, have something to say about that. They don't want this gunfight to go more in the favor of velocity. So there we go. There's another one there that Amaterasu is going to trade it back out. Deryeon as well, and it's a 1 versus 1. How chaotic do we have to have this be? The door is being shut, and Deryeon can safely get that spike down, and now it's just a 1v1 both times. This is where things get spicy, right to Ace. Goodness gracious me.
Have necessary utilities to hold on to in this round.
100%, and right now it feels like a little bit of a still moment is in the air. The Bleeder finally collapsing in, and there we go. Deadly taking out crazyguy before that Prowler utility can be used anymore. Juicy is going to trade that back for hellffR. Gets to pick 2 casualties all across the board, and once again, we're in a 3v3. Deadly, I don't know if they're fully aware of his position. They're trying to find him. Again, can he cause any more ruckus? I don't think JayH will be aware of this Jet player ready and waiting for him, but that spike is going down, so pressure certainly is wrong for Deadly now. Can they get this pick? Yes, they can. There is Retla falling down. It's not immediately traded out either, but that has been called out, and there we go. JayH getting that pick there. The right to Ace is ready and waiting a 1v2. This is doable. There we go. Now they just have to stick raid, but that utility should have been heard, and here we go. Amaterasu is coming to help, but there's that opening pick there. Right to Ace falling down. Can the second come through? Yes, it can. The third as well onto DEATHMAKER. Poor velocity, a 5v2, and they ideally have to make their way. Deadly holding that very tight angle just in case someone does try to peek out, but again,
even engage in this 2v5, especially not a single player being removed, that's going to cause a lot of harm towards the economic growth. Okay, crazyguy, are you kidding me? Wallbang somehow gets away with a headshot towards Deadly. There goes the op, and now hellffR. He's got to be really careful with all 5 players towards Bleeds' end. Will hellffR survive? I'm really sure that can happen. Nope.
For a collapse here. They don't want to contest what they think is actually a lot of map control, but it's not as much as they think it is. And this is very clever right now from Velocity. Beautiful shot there by Deryeon, taking out Deadly though.
30 seconds left.
That's certainly going to rustle the jimmies. And again, keeping up to apply that pressure. Both of these players being forced to the back of site now. Juicy looking for them, going for the pre-fire through the wall. Not actually doing any damage just yet, but again, it's a little bit terrifying. hellffR, however, having a little bit of a field day thus far. Managing to get that pick. Amaterasu falling down as well.
Left.
It's a little bit scrappy on both sides right now, but
One
Spike
enemy
needs to
remaining.
go down, but there's no room to do so
right
there. I think that was a massive oversight there from Bleed, just not having that presence on that A site. But this giant flank is coming through now and is right to Ace, going to be aware of it. I think he thinks maybe flank will be coming through elsewhere and he can shut this down immediately. There's one, there's two, there's three! That's what we like to see, a fourth one there for Amaterasu. And it's poor crazy guy up in heaven, left by himself right now.
Have control
And
towards the A side, but this post plant will be even much more difficult, especially when they try to corner them around. All they've got to do is just figure out a way, and that huge peak from hellffR is going to give away yet another kill at the hands of Bleed. And now they have weapon control, they have two Spectres, and it will be even much more tougher for them once they arrive towards that place. Fragments being used, so does the smoke. JayH knows exactly, all the way towards the inside. He will deny a lot of plays, but Amaterasu is still alive. The third, he won't be able to get it. Ghost, not gonna happen. Juicy will get it.
it's going to be used just to give a little bit of leeway here, but here we go. York comes through, and that's going to alleviate a little bit of pressure, but actually
One enemy
JayH
remaining.
applying pressure of his own.
Strike
That's a
down
4K. Can
My
he get the
goodness.
fifth? Can he get this ace right to Ace? Speaking of aces, currently feeling a
Storm.
little
So if anything goes south, oh no, that's quite unfortunate. Oh boy, that is not good. Especially a Horn could have helped them gain much more info towards mid top. Juicy will be forced in a very difficult situation, but he still have the support from the team. JayH and crazyguy fall back. Juicy follows it up with yet another kill. Remove Amaterasu. Which leads to hellffR and Deadly. Now he'll be forced to fall back. hellffR knows the information too. Will they get a kill? I'm not quite sure. Trade will be given. It will be hellffR who will remove Deryeon out of the place. They still gotta focus on rest of the three players. The paranoia will be used when it comes to blocking lines of sight, but Juicy and confirming its suspicions that it's going to be all the way towards the B sides. Here comes the execution. Here comes the satchel charges. Deadly 7 HP gets taken out from Juicy's headshot, and now trouble starts to stew around at the hands of VLT as they start to lose control on the side itself. Juicy once again aggressive attempt. Amaterasu might be able to find beautiful opportunity. Oh, 2 kills and another from hellffR to clean things out.
Again, thick
Round number
and fast.
1.
Can this shot be landed now by Juicy? hellffR sending in the flash. That's going to give a little bit of an information that he is in the back of sight there, but it is now a post plant. The Bleed really need to hold on to these all-important angles. The rotation coming through here through Market. There we go. Deadly ready, waiting. JayH trades it back out. A second one down to Amaterasu. Can they get another on for Deryeon? Desperate to find one. There we go. DEATHMAKER falling down right to Ace.
One enemy remaining.
Deryeon's right to Ace for hellffR. Takes out Deryeon out to 1 versus 1. And this is going to get scrappy. Actually, the flash goes out. So that should maybe give an inkling, or at least delaying that push through Hookah. And rotation starts to come through from Velocity. Wow, what was that? Juicy taking out hellffR. The right to Ace ready and waiting for that refrag before Retla shuts him down. And a very uncomfortable retake now for the side of Velocity, because they've had to go for this really slow rotation. And how awkward is that rotation all the way through defenders spawn? In a very, very tight position. There we go. crazyguy gets one. Can he get a second? Can Amaterasu get this trade off? No, they can't. The duo swing going out to try and allow a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of information almost, as DEATHMAKER is pushed back very aggressively here. And that's going to free up so much breathing room. But again, that spike needs to go down. There we go. JayH is blunking it. DEATHMAKER, beautiful shot there. Waiting for a re-swing, potential of a refrag, but it's just not coming. It's just not coming. There was no one there playing the duo play, so again, a very awkward retake right now for Velocity to try and do. There's one on crazyguy, but JayH with the refrag yet again. A 2 versus 2. Retla takes down Amaterasu, who's on the tiniest bit of health. Can right to Ace clutch this out. A 1 versus 2. Seen him do incredible things before, but no.
Finally managed to adapt their situations, and Juicy has got to be really careful about that boom bot. Information's being given. He's got fall back, but Deadly somehow gets caught out from the crossfire, and with it, the trap that had been laid around from Bleed has worked out successfully. Removing 2 players once again from VLTs, and Bleed will now focus towards the A
I
side.
don't know if Bleed are aware of how open this site is, but now they certainly should be. This is going to be a very uncomfortable retake for the side of Velocity. Well, there we go. There's one for DEATHMAKER. Crazyguy falling down. A spike has been forced, and now the timer is very much in the favor of the side of Bleed. 2 versus 4, right to Ace and hellffR. That's really trying to lure out some of these players, get these 1v1 engagements, but I don't think Bleed are going to give it to them. I think they're going to easily play in these duos now, and this is going to really be a comfortable retake. Ooh, well, there's at least one. Deryeon falling down, no need to trade just yet. Juicy, there we go. Retake for the round thus far.
Kingdom. It's like, no matter how many utilities that you push towards the place, you won't be able to get a single kill, not at all. But DEATHMAKER, he will get one this time. So does Deadly. This is the opening that they require. All Bleed needs to do is just hold their ground with Retla being the one, but he'll get shredded back. Smokes will be denied. And once more, it will be Deadly who will get those important kills. Beautifully done from VLT as they will secure this post plant. But will crazyguy will be able to do something about this? He will get one.
But it's really nice for them as soon as they had that in from Retla too. We saw the massive swings come through, so good stuff. The aggression here from Deadly. Ooh, actually he's going to get shut down there by Juicy, but right to Ace is then traded back out. Deryeon and Retla with one of their own. Juicy with another down to Amaterasu. And before we know it, it's a 3 versus 1 already with so much time to go.
When it comes to man count, they've equalized it to a 4v4. But once that Nightfall comes into play from Amaterasu, in which it happened right now, the showstopper will disconnect. Yes, he does. There goes hellffR, but he forgot about right to Ace. All the way from the box's side, he needs to find a way to remove Raze. But he's all the way deep within the place. He has the information, and JayH needs to get a kill. He finds one. He gets a second. No, Juicy gets it. There we go. Entire clean out from the A side, and it's DEATHMAKER once again in a 1v3. A very difficult situation that Velocity Gaming is currently in right now. And this 1v3 will be even much more tougher. There you go.
Again, as we discussed before, a bit of an awkward site to have to retake because you've got these 2 specific choke points from the back, and the attack always know, and they can hold these crossfires like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, they currently have information, but all they've got to do is just find for the peak, and Deadly will just get that headshot. Beautifully done. And now in a 2v4 situation with Bleed having some particular issues, crazyguy is just going. He's just going to go all the way towards the hooker side. Meanwhile, Juicy, aggressive attempt. He will get one, but will get blown out from the boom bot. And now, since the time has been ticking down, crazyguy will be forced to go in for the games. Really did give them the win towards round number 15 itself. But now here comes round number 16, and VLT, they're not going to make any feature stop itself, especially from the showstopper. All they've got to do is just find a kill, and right away will do exactly just that. Showstopper won't be able to find a kill just yet, and JayH needs to be careful with the peak, and hellffR, he's just going to wait it patiently. Forcing the player out from the Show's side will put VLT in a much more greater advantage, as they will be on post plant. DEATHMAKER will be forced to fall back, especially with the help of his TP, while Amaterasu does the best shots. Beautiful shot from the Stinger, all the way from the peak towards A-Lamps. Not gonna happen. Crazyguy, only the final player left. And now he needs to force fall. Can he succeed? No, it does not. Deadly. Smokes will be used to block some certain lines of plays, but that definitely will not stop Deadly itself, especially when you have those active charges, information from Horns, everything is present. But the showstopper from Juicy might be able to make a break it moment, but I believe that is not necessary because you still have the crossfire angles from the side of Bleed, who will secure 3 kills, which would lead to Amaterasu and DEATHMAKER, the only 2 players left who needs to make a push all the way towards the B side. And now this is troublesome from VLT. Once they have the opportunity, now it's slowly falling apart. DEATHMAKER will find one by removing crazyguy, but he needs to be careful on 2 of the players. And let's not forget, time is running out. They only have 10 seconds left. They need to go in for the push. Will find one. And since he needs to rely on information from the Haunt, Amaterasu will just relay it back with the Nightfall. And now, Juicy, will he find a kill? Yes, he does. That's 1. The only problem is the hooker's control will be even much more tougher for them, and Deryeon having the open hand. You forgot about the Amaterasu, who's all the way towards the side. The angles are being made, and now Juicy left in a 1v2. Satchel charges being used to hopefully find a discussion, and the denial, my goodness! I've got to say, man, Juicy, he is still feeling it, and Deryeon needs to fall back safely, and he will get caught out directly at the hands of Deadly. Push will happen nonetheless all the way from the A side. They have majority of the control, and so does the confirmation on the kills at the hands of DEATHMAKER. Juicy, he needs to fall back, but in the end, he will get caught off from Amaterasu. Crazyguy, he will get 2 kills. And now, if we focus all the way towards the A side, never mind then. Never mind. they're gonna go all the way towards B once again to provide that distraction. And my god, Deadly's is doing such great work. So does hellffR to give protection. Making sure that none of the players from the start of Bleed would make an attempt to go for the push, and right to ace. Headshot to deliver the final blow towards crazyguy. Once again, it's all at the hands of Deryeon, who control and pain for them. Especially once crazyguy uses his nightfall, it'll be even much more problems for them. DK's information, prowlers, they somehow gets away with the kill. JayH used the orbital strike all the way from the hooker side because they know that would be the main play. Flash is being used from hellffR. Control is still present, but they're still losing a lot of time. They have to go in for the kills. DEATHMAKER, the only sole survivor left in this gunfight. 1v1 is the battle of the chambers. Who will get it? It will be Deryeon! So they have to rely on smokes, and Deryeon all the way towards the place. The jumping raise will be downed out from Deryeon. What? crazyguy gets one, so does right to ace, who needs to get this win. It's a 12-11. The flanks are arriving. The black up is almost on its way from the side of Bleed. They will at least secure post plant, but it's just right to ace and hellffR left in a 2v3. They only have the orbital strike. They've got to make it count. The information will be given from the Trailblazers. The orbital strike will be used very quickly. Not a lot of time left as Deryeon gets one more. It's all at the hands of hellffR. 1v3 as he will secure one. A headshot to remove Deryeon. He gets a second. Yes, there might be a chance. 1v1 JayH. He needs to get the kill, in which he does not. hellffR will secure overtime. Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading to overtime. They got to make a push. And now, Bleed, they're forced to push all the way from the A side, but you still have hellffR still holding on towards the A lamps. Even though both of the players have been eliminated, hellffR still needs to figure out a way. It's not gonna happen. Retla gets the headshot. It's now a post plant at the hands of Bleed in a 2v4 situation once again. It's all at the hands of Amaterasu and Deadly, who's been dealing major damage while they were on attack. And now once this push would happen, the crossfire angles will be huge. The skill charges won't be able to get a kill. Oh boy, the denials from Molotov, the snake bite, so much damage being dealt around just from a single use of those utilities. And right to ace will at least secure a post plant. Juicy, he needs to make a play for Bleed. And if he gets this will be huge. The first will be given, but the second will be cheered out from Deadly. Huge trades being made from both the sides, and Deryeon having the op in hand, he'll be able to find one. The second from DEATHMAKER, but Deryeon gets one more. This is promising from Bleed as we secure 4. A ninja defuse. crazyguy is gonna get it. VLT, they have no idea. Oh my goodness! It would not, Grace, and especially once the defenders make their way towards the B side. Once the wall gets cleared out, they have to go in for the push. Wall's been removed, and now KO can just use his suppression knife to block lines of sight. But wait a minute, they have the wall. This is a perfect moment. VLT, Deadly, he's still committing for this defuse, but he'll be denied immediately. He's been killed. He's been denied. And VLT, Amaterasu, and Deadly, both of them were holding from the A side, are no longer. And now Bleed, despite them knowing that the whole A side has been cleared off, they still want to commit to this B push. Especially when you have a deadly combo like Juicy and Deryeon, who's been dealing major damage. Bleed, my god, they're just... Oh man, this is gonna be tough here, Grace, especially with DEATHMAKER being that they have to clutch on a 1v2.
100% a difficult thing to do right now. You need to ideally find these little pixel angles, find these peaks, but again, we've seen how well Bleed can hold these cross angles, so rightly so, DEATHMAKER is trying to check every single corner possible, but there we go, Juicy angle being held in mid right now. And that's going to really prevent any flankeroonies, any rotations coming through, and this could be huge as well. Right to ace it. I think they will be aware. They see the gun through the smoke, so there we go. The opening engagement going in favor of Velocity. So now Juicy is looking for a juicy pick of their own, but there we go. DEATHMAKER up in hand, ready and waiting. Two engagements on either side as Deryeon checks himself a nice little 2k, cleaning up a little bit, but it's still a 2 versus 3, so
30 seconds left.
More work needs to be done just now. Retla ready and waiting. Eyes on that spike, willing to take this engagement. There we go, Viper on Viper action is what we like to see. That plant is going down, ladies and gentlemen. Can it Deadly do anything about it? Well, certainly probably not. Not now that we're seeing this Viper go out. You have to go for the drop down, but you can't see where they are. And oh my, and Bleed trying to go into the next 2 with a slight disadvantage. They do have so much control, but so that spike most likely will go down uncontested. Juicy trying to get to the back, but shut down by Amaterasu. The ulti comes through to try and delay these angles. DEATHMAKER ready and waiting very well. In fact, the Retla has the high ground there, so wants to try and hold his pixel angle as long as possible. Daryeon's hungry for it before being shut down, though, by DEATHMAKER. Beautiful shot there. And again, the lines of sight that they're able to know. They know where Retla is. There we go. They had his number from the start.
Which means that Bleed now has the whole site under control. And in this post plant, VLT still have some necessary defensive uses. They still have the shock dart, they even have the snake bite, in which they'll be able to use it as of now. But how can they push in when you have these smokes from the Vipers blocking almost half of the line of sight? There's no other choice. They have to push through it. They need to get the kill. Deryeon gets one, JayH gets the other, and now it's all at the hands of Amaterasu. Only 30 HP left. No other choice but to fall back. And now he's been hunted around by all 4 players from Bleed, and JayH will just jump from the ceiling.
Just yet, and Galdron going out is going to give a lot of information as to where is open currently, but there we go. crazyguy coming around. Nice little swing out, taking out DEATHMAKER. So it's now a 3 versus 5, and this is where the pressure starts to be applied because that timer is ticking. Amaterasu needs to try and go for this entry back into sight very quickly. hellffR getting a pick down to Retla, but Juicy is head straight back out of third of the round, going on to Deadly, and poor hellffR is left by himself. And again, we've seen how Bleed play these kind of situations. They really want to hunt down and damage the eco of the other team, damage the statistics of the other team. So yeah, rightfully so, hellffR is going to hightail it out of there, and it's another round on the very good work to try and slow that down, but that ult is coming out, and again, we've seen how difficult these situations can be. JayH taking out hellffR. Again, a bit of a quiet before the storm as people desperately trying to shoot each other around this utility. crazyguy taking out Deadly. The second one down to Amaterasu. Can they get a third? Deryeon's going to get that third for their team onto right to Ace.
Spike planted.
Or DEATHMAKER off in hand. Can they get this beautiful pick there? No, they can't, but that's going to give his location away, and now he has to hot-tail it away to safety. But look at it, they're so hungry for it. They just really want to take that up away from you.
Teleport's ready.
This is... Oh boy. This is tough, especially from Velocity Gaming. No more of those walls and the slow offs could help Team Velocity to hold their ground, and especially when you have an Empress like that from Deryeon, he will get the kill, but an immediate trade will come back at the hands of right to Ace. Immediate use of the Viper's Pit might force Bleed to fall back and maybe show their positioning elsewhere towards the B side. Meanwhile, the whole B side, Bleed has every single information thanks to those information dart being given from the Sova. So everything is under control, especially Juicy, who is still in the A site. My goodness, this lurk will be so deadly if right to Ace does not remove this one player out of the equation. He will does. He will. That's a good mark. But in a 3v3, it's been equalized. It's post-plant once again. Smoke's been already been placed. Bleed has ample control towards the yellow boxes. All they're going to do is just peek, kill, get the trade. And now it's once again, it's just DEATHMAKER. 1v2. What can he do in a situation when you have JayH and Retla? Both of them are just constantly removing players one by one. Information's been given all the way.
To really show the full story of what's happened, to be honest, even on both sides again. The Happy Moonswave and Bleed themselves have struggled slightly in rounds, but oh my goodness me, DEATHMAKER having a little bit of a funky one there, getting a 2k for himself as Jade trades it back, but that plant is going down nice and quick. Again, the Viper Wall is being so important when it comes to this map, really cutting off those lines of sight. Now Bleed have to play for this post plan. Looks like they're going to go for the push from mid, so again, it's a bit of a long way to go with it. Amaterasu trying their best to delay this attempt at a retake. It's crazyguy ready and waiting. The Viper Wall goes up again, though, and that's going to make it a lot more difficult. Jay does get the pick onto Deadly, but Amaterasu is ready and waiting to be there for the trade. crazyguy is having to get up close and personal before being taken out by Amaterasu. There you go. A little bit of pressure being applied. It's going to be a full team swarm. They're playing for these trades, but the trades just aren't coming. DEATHMAKER invite to Ace. Really have something to say about that. Shutting down this attempt at a first initial pushback. The wall being up again. Really enabling them. I think this is really clever by Velocity, just cutting off those lines of sight as much as possible. There we go. As soon as it falls, Deryeon is able to get that shot. crazyguy onto Deadly as well. A 3 versus 3.
I will not die.
The wall's going to go up, and that's really going to block off the line of sight as Deryeon starts to get spicy with it. A third there onto hellffR. Amaterasu can clutch it out, and well, goodness me. Shots that the players are able to land is just absolutely nuts, and you need to cut off those lines of sight, and Velocity are getting the objective secured and doing all right because of that, but as soon as that wall went down, it just crumbled apart. For now, though, a little bit of a ring around the rosy, a little bit of a spice fest going on between DEATHMAKER and crazyguy as they're both trying to land these nice little shots on each other. But again, that collapse is coming through hot and heavy from the side of Velocity. Lucy and Deryeon getting right to Ace and Co down, but Retla is going to trade back with a pick onto Deadly too. Already Velocity are having a bit of a rough time here, and there we